Okay,
Okay, let me see. It's when you're calling around on the neighborhood, around the property that you have sold, right?
correct. So,
Oh, that. Okay.
yeah, and that's basically consider this phone calls in local neighborhoods. That's pretty much what circle prospecting is. Now, when we're prospecting, we're always looking for sellers, right? That's our primary objective is always to find seller leads. So, when we're circle prospecting, this first script, if you guys look, this is a generic circle prospecting script just looking for sellers. So this would be if we didn't tell you specifically call for an open house, call for a just listed, just sold. Let's just say you need more leads and we just drop 500 people to call. This is what you're going to do. You're going to basically say, hey, this is, David, Diego, Bob, Rebecca, and I'm with the Casbarrow team with Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling because we are trying to help a family move into your area. And as you know right now, homes that are going on the market are selling relatively fast. And they have literally seen everything that is currently available, and nothing matches their family's needs. So, as a courtesy to them, we told them our team would call around the neighborhood and see if we can find anybody local who thought about selling, was curious about selling, or would consider selling that I could help connect so that this family could have a home before the end of the summer. Do you yourself know anybody that is interested in selling a home? Little if they say no, yes, who are you? You're the devil, hang up, I'm hungry, whatever they say, fantastic. Would you yourself consider selling your property? No, I wouldn't. Okay, let me ask you a question. I completely understand you don't want to sell. Would you consider selling your home in the future at some point? Uh, Maybe. I might consider selling in the future. Okay, awesome. And when you consider selling in the future, is that 5 years, 3 years, a year, 6 months, 3 months? I mean, how late are you thinking about selling? Well, we probably do it in 3 years. Okay, let me ask you another question. In 3 years, what would you sell your home for? Oh, we'd sell it for, I don't even know. How much do you think it's worth? I don't know. I haven't seen the inside. Let me ask you though. I mean, how much would you need to make it make sense for you? What would be your ideal number? Well, I don't know, 400,000? Okay. Let me ask another question. If our team can get you more than that right now, would you consider selling? Could you get me more than 400,000? Well, I don't know. We haven't seen the inside. What I'd like to do is schedule a time for us to go over there, meet with you, and take a look. Oh, well, I don't want to list my house. Okay, perfect. Well, if we have a buyer who would buy your home right now for 400,000, would you sell it? Assuming we can get you into another house at a really good deal. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have to talk to my wife. We might consider selling it. I mean, if you got us 400, I don't know. I'm just not sure. Okay. Well, that's all I'm looking for is a might. And honestly, I'm the lowest pressured sales guy you're ever going to meet. And we just want to look at the inside. So does that work for you? Mm, yeah, I guess so. Great. What time's usually convenient where you and your wife are both home? Uh, I don't know. Well, we got 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. What works better for you on Friday? Fridays we're probably not going to be home. Okay, how about Saturday morning at 10? That would be fine. Great. Set the appointment. That's it. You're literally calling. I mean, this is for a random person in a neighborhood. This is your script. So we're calling as a courtesy because there's nothing out there, and we need to get our buyers a home before the end of the summer. Do you yourself know anybody who's interested in selling a house? Yes, I do. Great. Can I have their name and number right now so I can call them immediately? Because my buyers are desperate.
So these are people that unconsciously they don't know they want to sell.
No one knows what they want to sell, but everybody has a number. David, how
Right,
much
right.
how much would make you want to get out of your place? If I said I can give you, I don't know.
I guess 30,000.
Okay, if I can get you $30,000 today, would you sell your house?
Yeah.
Great. When's a good time to meet? That's it.
Uh, how would you do that though? How would you sell my house for 30,000?
I'd love to show you in person. When's a good time to meet?
Um, as soon as possible. I want
Great.
to see what you
I
got.
got tomorrow at 10 a.m. I mean, literally, that's it. So, I mean, if someone asks you how, my fancy objection to that is that's a great question. In fact, we're kind of like a magician. I'm going to make your house disappear. And unfortunately, I don't share my secrets and I only show you one time. So, when was a good time for me to show you my magic tricks? On how to make your home disappear. Is tomorrow at 12 good?
Okay, great. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, literally,
Well, I
that's
want
it.
to see what you can do.
If I can get you $30,000, would you sell your house? Well, I'm worried about the kids in school. Great. If I can get your kids in the same school system and get you $30,000, would you consider selling it tomorrow? I don't know. I need to talk to my wife. Great. If I can do all that and your wife was cool with it, would you sell your house? You ask a lot of questions. I sure do. I also want to ask you what's more important, how much you're going to net or how much you would actually pay an agent. What does that have to do with this conversation? I don't know. When's a good time to meet? I mean, like, literally. I mean, literally, guys. That's it. That is your converse. I mean, your conversation. That's it. Now, I certainly do want you to build rapport and don't be a robot about it because you're just going to turn people off. But if you throw those questions in there, and if you're savvy at building rapport with people, and then kind of just throwing this little curveball question in there, you're gonna close appointments. It's just it has to happen. It's just the way that it's worded. Literally, the language of sales is built into these things to make them get the answer you want to get the result you want. It's it. So, great, you got a family, you got kids, haha, good, great. Listen, what's more important for you? How much you net at the end of the day or how much you pay an agent? Oh, well, how much I'd net? Great. And it sounds like all this stuff about your family is super important. So if I can get all of that to work out and get you into a brand new home, that's a great deal. Net you what you want on this one, and I can make this the best transaction of your life. Would you interview me right now? I don't know. No one's ever asked. Great. When's a good time to meet? So I joke around. I mean, literally, guys, that is the most powerful couple of phrases you could ever ask. What's more important for you? How much you're going to net or how much you can pay an agent? When's a good time to meet? If I can get you blank, whatever you need, and that's what we're figuring out, and that's really like what this circle of prospect, everybody has a magic number, right? Well, I'd think about selling my house if I can get 400,000. Awesome. And if we can get that for you right now, would you consider selling your property? And they're going to tell you whatever else might prevent them from making that decision. Well, I'm concerned about where we would move. Great. If we can find you a good deal in the local neighborhood or in the area you want, that's a perfect fit for you and your family, and I can net you what you need, would you consider selling today? Oh, I don't know. I think we'd still do it in 3 years. Okay, what else besides price is more important that would make you move today? I don't know. I don't, maybe I got to consider how close I am to my job. Okay, great. If we can keep your commute as what it is right now or possibly shorter, get you what you want, take care of the kids' school system, would you consider selling today? Are you just going to keep asking me the same thing every time I answer? Yes, I am. When's a good time to meet? I mean, literally, that's it. These are questions specifically designed to pull out of them motivation. I'm not motivated right now. Okay, well, what would
One thing
motivate
I,
you?
sorry, one thing I've noticed about people from Georgia, they're not rude. They're not that rude.
Most people aren't rude everywhere. Most
Oh
people.
yeah, in California they are. Believe me.
California. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
supposed to be the
believe
most
me.
laid back in California, but they also have the most laws, and everybody's a different type of character, I guess, so to speak. But
I guess that there's more like nationalities in California, so you get all kinds of people.
Yeah. But that's literally like, guys, that's the most important thing to understand is whether it's this script, a for sale by owner, an investor, an expired, motivation, 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 solution. That's it. What's your motivation? Build rapport. What's your motivation? Build rapport. What's your time frame? Build rapport. Set the appointment. That's literally it. Great. How soon do you need to be there? Why is that important to you? What are you trying to accomplish? Why is that important to you? How much money do you need? Why do you need the money? I mean, as a salesperson in general, or just as a human being, to get your way correctly, meaning you're not taking advantage of someone else or taking away something from them, you're just identifying the parts that need to be corrected. That's exactly what a doctor does. And that's why I keep saying we're really like the doctor of your house. You have an illness, whether you like it or not, or there you have a prevention system that we can get you familiar with. You just don't know it exists. The market might tank 3 years from now if that's when you want to sell your house. I don't know. If I can get you what you need today at that price, would you consider selling it? No, I don't know. Okay, what would be the one thing that would help you think about selling today? They're either going to answer the question or they're going to get you an objection if you don't have enough rapport with them. So I sometimes, because I'm a high D personality, I don't like having my time wasted. I just need it to be efficient and get to the point. Except when I'm training you guys, I want it to be thorough. But typically, when I'm lead generating, I got to set appointments. That's my whole deal. I got to go. I want to be courteous, however, and I tone down my personality to be much more of a talker and a much better listener, mostly listener. But I keep those questions right in my back pocket, and as soon as I have enough rapport, I fire them away. Just like any time that you are closing someone, it's like a gun, and you have these bullets in your gun, and you want to kind of take aim and make sure the gun works and everything else lines up before you fire. It's the same thing with the sellers on the phone. You're not just going to start out super aggressive. When are you looking to hire the right agent? What's more important for you? You're not a robot. However, if done correctly and you're using the scripts, you're understanding the motivation, you're also understanding the other human being on the phone, then you shoot a powerful bullet out with one of these questions, you're going to get the results. It's going to be like, whoa, I didn't even know I wanted to move. I'm sure you didn't. Market's awesome right now. And if I can get you what you need, get your family to a bigger home for pretty much the same price, because I'm able to get X dollars for you or this interest rate or whatever, wouldn't you not do that today? So that is what it's designed to do, guys. And so that's your generic prospecting script for just circle prospecting. Now, if we go more specific into it, let's say that we're doing like an open house. So, David, we are doing an open house. So, like your phone calls for this Sunday, we're doing an open house from 2 to 4. So, what you'd start out going down to the open house one. Hey, this is David, and I'm with the Casbarrow team from Keller Williams Realty. This is just a quick courtesy call. As you might already know, we just listed a home nearby you, the Smith family's home at 123 Main Street. And the Smith family, they asked me, Doug and Karen, they asked me if our real estate team would give each of the neighbors and kind of the folks surrounding the area a call and just invite you guys to come into our open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Oh, wow, okay, great. So now that we kind of, and that's literally it. And then like basically what you do from there, go right back up. Oh, well, okay, yeah, we might or whatever. Okay, great. And let me ask you another question. As you know, homes are going on the market and they're selling relatively fast. And the amount of buyers that we're going to generate off of this house we just listed for the Smiths family, we typically generate 10 times the amount of buyers than the average agent. And everything that we have on the market, it's going relatively quick. So if we're generating all of these other buyers and they're going to want homes that, maybe are a similar fit or they might be different, because the Smith's house, our buyers may want, one more bedroom or one less bath or a more open floor plan or whatever. Let me ask you, would you ever consider selling your property, or do you know someone who's interested in selling a home in their neighborhood? No, I don't. Okay, great. Let me ask you another question. Would you consider selling your home in the future at some point? Uh,
Okay,
Possible.
but right there, uh, when you said, okay, go back up about the open house. So we stopped at the neighbors called, invite them to come to the open house this Sunday, right? And then you said go back up where?
So I would go back up to the original circle prospecting script, and you kind of have a choice at this point, David. So let's say you didn't do
Okay,
it.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got options.
yeah, because basically at this point you can go on to the next paragraph, and so you might be able to throw in something like, the Smiths family asked me if our real estate team would give each one of the neighbors or folks, people surrounding the area a call and invite them to come to our open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Um, would you be able to attend? Can we expect you at the open house? Are you able to make it? Just tag
Why
along.
would I? Okay, why do I want to go to an open house?
Well, that's a great question. Just like we have general things that people like at open houses, you can see the floor plan, kind of how your neighbor's decorated. We're even bringing some light refreshments and snacks. So I'd love for you to kind of come and meet us and see a different house in the neighborhood and have some snacks. Additionally, what we have found is a lot of times neighbors, when another neighbor's home goes on the market, they're curious about what home values are like. So if you come to the open house on Sunday, we'll have a list of all the recent sales while we're there. And then we will have, to me, what our team considers the best price properties in the area: bank foreclosures, government owned property, etc. And I just wanted to kind of ask you a question, because our marketing usually generates around 10 times the amount of buyers than the average agent. And since we only have one of the Smiths family's homes to sell, if we have extra buyers looking to move in the area, could you think of anybody else that might have a home that would be bigger, smaller, in a different part of the local neighborhood so that we can help these people find a home as well? Well, we might sell our house. Oh, awesome. Okay. Um, that's really cool. So let me ask you, what would be the price that would make you sell your house today? Uh, I don't know. Okay. Well, when were you thinking about actually selling in the future? I mean, was this something that you guys wanted to do in the next few weeks, couple months, 6 months? How does that look? Well, we were actually thinking about doing it at the end of the summer. Okay, awesome. And let's just throw a number out there. What would be the number that you would like to walk away with after all said and done? How much would you like to net to make this move just awesome for you and your family? Oh, well, we'd have to probably make, at least 30,000, and we'd need that for a down payment on a new house. Okay, great. So you need to go buy a new house as well, right? Yeah, awesome. So you need to protect the equity in your current one, get as much as possible, and then you'd buy another house. And you guys were thinking about actually doing this in the next 6 months just on your own, right? Yeah, awesome. If I can show you a way to get at least that amount or more in today's market, and we found you an awesome deal that's perfect for you and your family, and that was priced super well, would you consider doing it today? Um, Maybe. We might. Great. Honestly, maybe's all I was looking for. You're going to find out that our team is like the lowest pressure team you're ever going to meet. We'd really like to just view the inside. That way, if any of the buyers we generate on the Smith's house, we know what yours looks like, and we can talk some numbers with you as well. So, does that work for you? Sure, I guess. Awesome. And since we'd be in the area on Sunday, would it be okay if Jim, who's our team leader, he's also our listing specialist for that area. Do you think he can stop by? The open house ends at 4. How's 4:30 sound? Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. I'll let Jim know to stop by your house. What's your address? It's 123 Main Street. Awesome. Jim will see you at 4312 Main Street, and hopefully we can see you at the open house as well and meet us beforehand. Great. Thanks a lot. That's it.
The plan is to actually for you to go and look at all those houses that we get after the open house, or we're gonna be making
I would do different
an appointment.
appointments. We can
Yeah.
do, I mean, what I like to do is if that's the only opening that's on the calendar, or if there's not an opening on the calendar, just do it. Just go ahead and apologize later. Oh, sorry, Jim, you gotta go to an appointment. Nope, your life's so horrible. Like that's just do it. You're already in the area, so go ahead and do it. I would recommend though, um, doing it a different day. Do it, a typical appointment. Try to go at least a day or 3 days out. Um, then that way too, anybody who comes to the open house, we'll try to go convert an appointment in the open house right after the open house.
Okay, so okay, what you want us, you just want us to get him to the party, right?
Pretty much.
Take him there.
And
And then,
by the way, I wanted to invite you to the party. Who else do you know who would want to come to the party?
there you go.
That's pretty much what you're doing. Great. So you wouldn't probably want to come to the party. What would make you come to the party? Okay. What do you need to come to the party? If I can get you what you need and you want to come to the party, would you come to the party today? Yes, great. When can we meet and I'll bring you to the party? I mean, it's literally like how you're approaching it. It's the most
And there, Jim, once we get him there, what you'll be looking for, sellers or buyers?
always sellers. Always. Because if I get a seller, I usually get a buyer.
Yeah.
And then you guys get double ended. So you're always looking for sellers. Even if you're calling buyers, oh, okay, you looking to buy a house? Great. Do you need to sell yours? Do you own or rent? How soon do you need to be there? Do you need to protect this is one of my favorite questions. So you need to protect the equity, right? How much money they have in their house, and put as much as possible in your pocket to go buy the new one, right? Well, duh. Who doesn't want to get as much money as I mean, that's a specifically built language of sales question. So you want to protect your equity and put as much as in your pocket on the sale of your house and then put that equity into the new one, right? Or just keep it. How awesome would that be to have some cash, right? Yeah, that'd be great. Great. If I can make all of that happen, when would be a good time to meet? We are the solution to the real estate problems. It's like you have a prescription pad, and no matter what disease they throw at you, you have the cure. You just got to figure out how to address the disease. Well, that's a tricky disease. Here's the objection, / here's the cure. And at the end of the day, to never get disease again, do this. I mean, that's literally what you guys are doing. So with this circle prospecting script, you're calling people either just strictly homeowners and telling them that we have buyers and there's nothing out there. Do you know anybody who's thinking about selling their house? Great, you can't think of anybody. I appreciate that. Would you consider selling your property? Well, let me ask you, how much would you consider selling your home if you're going to move in the future? Great, when would that be? 5 years, 1 year, 3 years? What's going on? Awesome. If I can get you what you just told me, pretty much right now in today's market, would you consider selling your house? I haven't thought about that. Right. Most people don't think any more than a week ahead in their future. The 1% who has all the money in the world thinks years ahead down the road. So let me ask you this, because I want you to make as much money as possible. What are you doing next year if you can be doing that today and leveraging your money? I can show you. When's a good time to meet? That's it. You're doing the same thing. Open house. I'd like you to come to my open house. This is when we're having it. The clients that, and this is also why we say this. Our clients, the Smiths, right? Because you want to relate to them, tell them the family's name. They had actually asked us if we could invite all the neighbors and the folks in the surrounding area to come to our open house this Sunday from 2 to 4. Would you be able to come? And just like you asked, David, well, why would I go to an open house? I'm not in the market for a house. That is awesome. In fact, we basically have the general things people like to come to open houses, see the floor plan, check out the neighbors have decorated their property, and we even have some light refreshments and snacks. So if anything, you guys get to kill some time, come eat some snacks, go see a cool house in the neighborhood. Additionally, what we found though is a lot of times the neighbors, when another neighbor's home goes on the market, they're curious about what their home values are like. So I'll have a
Yeah,
list.
I think that objection could be good. Why
Hmm.
don't you come and see it? See how much that house is worth, and you can kind of compare it to yours.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that would
for
catch anyone's attention. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, what we noticed is most people come to open houses not to buy that house. As much as I like eating snacks with you, it's not to eat snacks with me. You're curious about what your house is going to sell for relative to that one. And in fact,
yeah,
because we know that, we're just going to have a whole printed list of all the recent sales, so you know what's going on. And to
Plus, they will
me,
actually get to know you in action.
exactly, because once I meet you face to face, guess what? The only time that you're not going to use me is if you die. Literally. Like if you are in the ground or I'm dead. That's the only time I'm not going to sell you real estate in the future, is if you're not here. You're in the past. So we also will have the best price properties in the area, bank foreclosures, government owned properties, etc. So I wanted to ask you a question because our team is super proactive. We generally create 10 times the amounts of buyers than the average agent. And we only have one of the Smith family's house to sell. So if we have all these extra buyers that we're generating doing the open house and the marketing that we do, could you think of anybody else that might have a home that's larger, smaller, in a different part of the neighborhood so that all these buyers we generate, we can help some of these people find a home as well? Well, what are they looking for? Well, they're looking for homes in every price. In fact, let me ask you this. Have you ever considered selling your house? Well, possibly. I mean, our home's, I know our house is bigger than the Smiths. We have an extra bathroom and the yard's bigger. That honestly is awesome. In fact, from the buyers that we're generating right now, that may be a good fit. I'm not saying it could or couldn't be, um, but you never know. And in fact, what I'd like to do is figure out kind of what the inside looks like, and I'd be happy to send over one of our agents to take a preview. Let me ask you this, Mr. Seller. Before we do that, what would be the price that you'd sell your house, being that it is a little bit bigger and your yard's nicer? Well, I'd probably sell it. The Smiths, how much is the Smiths homes for sale? Well, that's a great question. In fact, I'm just an assistant on the team, so technically I'm not allowed to talk about price. However, I can send you a flyer on the property. What's a good email to send it to you? Or you can just come to the open house. We can have our agent talk to you about all the different stuff in the home. Oh, that's fine. Or I can just email you the link. Oh, okay, that's cool. Just what's awesome. What's your email address? It's sellerathome@gmail.com. Awesome, got it. And let me ask you then. I'll just shoot you an email real quick with the link. How much would you sell your house if you could today? Oh man, well I didn't know how much their houses are for sale, but I don't know. I mean, could you email me the list of those properties? Well, we
it's
start.
it's not that easy. I mean, you just can't. You just can't sell your house from one day to the from the next day, and then just change your life.
What's that?
No, I was just thinking on on an objection.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's not that easy. I mean, I just can't, sell my house from one day to the other and then just move.
David, if I can help you get everything coordinated to make that happen, would you if you could?
Uh, yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, I would, but like I said, it's not that easy. I mean, the kids, the wife,
Sure.
the neighbors.
Hey, David, you ever heard of the saying anything worthwhile is probably hard, it's worth pursuing?
Wait, hold on, let me write that down.
Right. Anything that's worthwhile is going to be hard, right? And you know what the cool thing is? This may seem really hard for you right now. I know movers. I know people who can get your kids into the school. We can send you the links to everything. I mean, we're literally here to make this process the most enjoyable. And you know why we ask these questions, David, is because just like the law of physics, we know once something's in motion, unless something prevents it from stopping, it stays in motion, right? And the opposite's true. The other law of physics, if it's not in motion, it's probably going to stay not in motion. So we know if the market is this hot, this is something that may seem very hard, but if this is enough to get you in motion, would you not make that a change, that much of a change, if it could actually change your whole family's life? And I can help you run that whole process. So let me ask you this, David. If I can keep your kids in the same school system, help you with the move, get you what you need financially, make your commute the same or less to work, and I can do this all relatively quickly without a hassle on your end, would you consider doing this today?
Yeah, I think I would.
Awesome. When's a good time to meet? That's it.
Um,
See? It's like, oh, I don't know. Can't say no to this guy. My wife's going to kill me. That's fine. I'm going to ask your wife the same questions.
yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Mr. Seller. Would your wife be mad at you if you told them you can make $20,000 tomorrow? Could you sell my house tomorrow? I don't know. Haven't seen it and my buyers don't know about it yet. Possibly. So, before you need to ask your wife about this decision, do you think that your wife would yell at you for making them a lot of money that normally wouldn't happen? And in fact, if you wait your 3 years like you were thinking and the market completely changes, who is she going to blame for that? Right? Honey, it's your fault, right? That's how most, spouses I know would go about it, or you bad luck or whatever it is. So, while the market's really hot right now and you can make your own luck, and I'm calling you basically telling you if I can get you your $20,000, is having your wife yell at you for making money the only thing that would prevent you from meeting with me tomorrow? Uh, didn't think about that. Great. Let's set the appointment for tomorrow night. Talk to your wife tonight when she comes over from work. If it doesn't work, call me back. What's a good email address and I'll send you my number. I mean, take the objection away from them, guys. That's literally what you're trained to do. That's why you know these objections. You remove the excuse. You can have excuses or you can have results. You can't have both. So to get the results, remove the excuses. It's just like kids, family, anything in life. I don't want to clean my room. Why? I want to play video games. Okay. If you want to play video games, clean your room. You give them an option. If you can't get the result you want, make it an option. And then take away the excuses. Why aren't you going to clean the room? Well, my fingers hurt. Well, okay, if I can make your fingers stop hurting, you can clean your room. Well, I don't know where to put my clothes. Well, if I show you where to put your clothes, will you clean your room? I mean, like literally, just keep going, removing the excuses until you can get the person to have a clear path to get the results. And we are going to help them do that. We have to meet with them to show them exactly how to do it. That's what these scripts come down to. So back to circle prospecting, because we're going to have to wrap up here pretty soon. The voicemails. So basically, when you guys are calling, we're going to have these voicemails set up. So the ones at the bottom, this is actually pretty much similar to what we're saying. When you are going through them and they're not picking up, it's going to automatically just hit the leave voicemail. Leave voicemail, leave voicemail, leave voicemail. Oh, when someone picks up, then boom, you go right into your circle prospecting script. Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yeah, who is this? Hey, great, thank you for taking my call. My name is actually David, and I'm with the Casbarrow team with Kellerman's Realty. I just quickly wanted to give you a courtesy call, because as you already might know, we just listed a home not too far from you, the Smiths family, their home at 123 Main Street. And the Smiths, they actually asked if our real estate team would give each one of the neighbors and the people in the surrounding area just a quick call, invite them to come to our open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. I wanted to know if we can count on you being there. Oh, well, we're not in the market. Okay, great. And honestly, we understand most people are not in the market right now. In fact, we know that the general things that people like at open houses, coming to see the floor plan and how the houses are decorated, even eating some snacks with me, right? We know those things are basically why most people go to open houses. So I totally get it if you're not in the market. You can certainly come eat snacks with us and see a different neighborhood's house. What we've really found, though, additionally, is that a lot of the neighbors, when another neighbor's home goes on the market, they're curious what their home's values are like. So we're going to actually have a list there with all the recent sales so you can see what's going on in your neighborhood. And then to me, we're going to have what we call like the best price properties in the area. And that list has like bank foreclosures, government owned properties, etc. So I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Because the marketing that we do generates around 10 times the amount of buyers than the average agent, and we only have one house that the Smiths have to sell, because we generate all these extra buyers and they're going to want to move to the area, could you think of anyone else that might have a home that would be bigger, smaller, different part of the neighborhood, so that we can help those people find a home as well? Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, great. Would you mind if I grab their name and phone number and I'll literally call them right now?
Yeah, my in-laws,
Sure. Okay, what are your in-laws' name?
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. That's awesome. Are they local, David? Or are they in the
Yeah, they live
local?
like 15 minutes away.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, certainly. What's their phone number? I'll give Bert and Ernie a call right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And before you go, let me ask you another question. Have you yourself ever considered selling your property?
To be honest, no.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. I completely understand you don't want to sell. Maybe no one's ever asked you, but would you consider selling your home in the future at some point?
I mean, I would sell it if things get rough. You
Okay.
know.
So, David, if that were to happen, I mean, would that be like 5 years down the road, three, 1, 6 months, 3 months? I mean,
I don't know. To be honest, I mean, I hope it never happens.
gotcha. So you're basically planning on staying here in the subdivision, right? Just gotcha. Were you planning on ever retiring and moving to a different area?
No, no, I love where I live. I mean, I have family, close friends, you know, schools.
That's awesome. So, how many kids do you have? So you got Bert and Ernie. They're about 15 minutes away. How many kids do you have in your household?
I got four,
Okay. How many bedrooms do you have in the house then?
6.
That's awesome. So you got like extra stuff. Do you work from home? What do you do with that extra bedroom?
I'm retired.
Okay. That's awesome. Oh, so you already are retired. Okay. You
Yeah.
sound young, David. That's awesome. Okay. So let me ask you this, David. If you're not gonna move, totally understandable. Let's say that someone came and offered you a price for your house that made you move today. What would be that price if you could just move? If
To
someone,
be honest, I wouldn't know because I never thought about selling my house. But now that you mention it, my house is kind of big for us now. I mean, out of the 4 kids, I 2 of them left already,
okay,
and 2 of them don't want to leave.
okay.
and
So you got a 6 bedroom house. How big would you say it is, like square footage wise? How much square foot do you think you have?
I'll say 20,000 feet.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge home. So
Yeah, it's pretty big. I got a lot of land.
that's awesome. Okay. And since you being retired, do you have to cut it and maintain the yard and everything?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm too old for that now. I know. I used to
Gotcha.
pay my kids to do that now. I thought it was gonna be fun, but now I want a smaller place.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
But I do like where I live.
okay. Let me ask you this then, David. If we can find you another house that was smaller and easier to maintain, but it was still in that same beautiful neighborhood. Let's say it's a ranch, right? You had everything on one floor, maybe on a basement, so you have a little bit of extra room for the kids, even if they're staying home. Um, if we can get you into a home like that, how much would you consider selling your house for to make that a reality?
You know, that's a good question, buddy. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know how much my house is worth. I guess I'll have to get it evaluated.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, David, because we're going to have so many of these buyers generated from the open house, um, and we're really familiar with the area, as we're making phone calls as well, we might actually stumble into another homeowner who has that exact house you're looking for. So let's say we did that. Would you consider selling today if I can get you that and make all the financial goals that you want accomplished a reality?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that likes to do everything in a hurry. I like to take my time.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, let's say you did it in the next couple months or a couple weeks. Would that be enough time for you to kind of get everything together and figure it out? Because it would take time to
Yeah,
find you another house too. So just keep that in mind as well.
yeah, it's no problem. I would.
Okay. So if we can make all that happen and you are comfortable and confident that we could get you what you need on your house, find you an awesome deal that's perfect for you, it's smaller, less yard, where you truly could enjoy your family in retirement, would you make, and we can make all that happen, in the next couple weeks, couple months, would you consider meeting with us so we can talk more about that?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Okay, that would be awesome. So, David, let me ask you, when's a good time to meet you and your wife and kind of go over what that plan could be? And then we can also talk some numbers and we'll be able to give you the best advice on what that financial payoff would be, especially once we see it in person, because we already know, what the houses are selling for in the area. And just going off the Smith's house, your house sounds huge, so we know it's certainly more than what they're listing it for. And again, I'll email all that to you. So, when's a good time? Looks like we actually have after the open house, we can stop by Monday afternoon around 3. Does that work for you?
Let's see. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yeah, or we can do it before the open house.
No, actually, no, because I need time to talk about it with the wife.
Cool. Okay. I can definitely appreciate
She's a
that.
little naggy. She's gonna be
She's a little
naggy,
naggy. Well, tell your wife if we can have her spend less time cleaning the house, and I gotta imagine that's a lot of stuff to take care of, especially with the kids and everything. Um, I'm sure she'd probably want more free time. So tell her you're hard at work at giving her some more free time. And you can kind of leave all the rest of the real estate stuff to us, and spend more time with your kids and your family. So that's perfect. Let's go ahead and just do it for Monday then at 3:30 or 3 o'clock, and we'll stop by and advise you on what you could sell your house for in this market. Sound good?
Okay, great.
Perfect.
I'm up for it.
And that's it. That's literally how you'd work it, David. So, I've never thought about selling. Okay, great. Where does your family live? That turned into, what do you do? Oh, you're retired. Turned into, how is your house? Which turned into, you have a lot of a house. Which turned into, do you want to take care of that house? Which turned into, how much you'd sell your house? Which turned into an appointment. So it's like, literally, getting to know people, you're going to come across a problem. And yeah, you're not gonna be able to help everybody. You might have someone who's like, "Nah, dude, I don't want to sell a house." Cool. Have a great day. If you can come by Sunday, awesome. Love to have you there. That's it. You're gonna eventually run into people who are like, "Man, you're right. I don't really need this much of a house." Or, "My God, if I have to listen to my teenage daughter right down the hall, I might shoot myself one more night." Who knows? I mean, literally. So you dig for motivation through the conversation itself and kind of knowing your scripts and how to say it. And then you ask those key questions to spark the emotional process. So logic makes them think. You give them facts, it makes them think. Emotion makes them act. So just imagine yourself, David, if you're retired You don't have to go upstairs anymore. Everything's on one floor. You don't have to vacuum and clean the house that's that big. Your heating and air conditioning bill is less. You get to enjoy more of your time. You're still near your family. You're in that neighborhood. We can make that all happen and get you financially in a very comfortable spot. Would you allow us to do that if you could?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're selling them the dream, and let us make that the reality. That's where the hard work comes in. Let us do that. That's what our team is built for. So that's how I would approach those conversations. Make sense? Diego, is that cool with you? You understand all that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Pretty neat though, huh?
Yeah.
So these are like pretty easy conversations, and if they are
Wait,
being,
as like for your experience, Jim, the neighborhood callings, they're pretty much gonna be saying yes, right?
if you know your scripts.
Yeah.
If you don't know your
Okay,
I
scripts,
don't agree because you're offering them to go and visit somebody's place, and like the example, right? Like you're inviting them to a party, so
yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
and
if
How do I
you
get their info and send it to you?
you get their email,
Or emails?
I want their emails because if you have their phone number, we just need their email.
if we have their phone number, we have their address or not.
Yeah, typically. If you don't, then you know that it's at least in the surrounding area. So
Yeah,
if they're like, "Hey, where'd you get my information?" or "How did you know I live here?" or "How did you?" Oh, well, that's a great question. In fact, I'm just an assistant on the real estate team, and we actually pull the numbers um, from the system that's, you know, related to the property. So, honestly, Mr. Seller, I don't really know. I can find out and certainly give you an answer. Um, and really, why I was calling today was definitely not to haggle you. In fact, I'm sure you know right now, we just listed the Smith's house down the street, and I was actually calling because they had asked us to invite everybody in the local neighborhood to our open house on Sunday. And so I was actually calling to see if you and your family could attend from 2 and 4 p.m. Would you be able to make it this Sunday? Um, I mean, how could they be mean after you're invite like you're literally being a nice person? I mean, how do you stop someone from being a jerk to you? Be nice. It completely throws them off balance. When you're a jerk to a jerk, you feed into their energy, and it doesn't stop the cycle, right? Hate crime leads to a hate crime, which leads to a hate crime. And until someone walks in and goes, "I love you," and they're like, "Whoa, that's weird," it stops the process. I mean, literally, that's what you're doing with scripts. You're setting yourself up to get a directed result or throw them off balance to get them back on that track. So if you get someone who's mad that you're calling them, once they figure out you're inviting them to an open house, I mean, if they're a jerk, then just hang up the phone. It's not like they know who you are. Just click. Whoops, sorry. Hello? Hello? Hang up. How did you get my number? Hello? Oh, hello? And then hang up. Best way to avoid conflict. So, cool. So, guys, try this out real quick. David, you're the seller. Diego, you are the call coordinator. And you are calling about an open house this Sunday from 2 to 4. So, go ahead and use the circle prospecting for an open house. And then, David, you be the seller.
okay.
Cool.
Or the open house. 1 second.
Yep.
Hi, this is no. Hi, this is Joe, and I'm in with the Casbaro team from Keller Williams Realty. This is just a courtesy call. As you might already know, we just listed a home nearby you. Nearby you, okay. The Smithson's family. The home is at 101 James T. Long Street. So the Smithsons asked me if our real estate team will will give each one of the neighbors and folks surrounding the area a call and invite them to come to our open house this Sunday at 2 p.m. This Sunday in the afternoon, right? Now we have the general things. Okay. Now we have the general things people like at the open houses. You can see the floor plan and how they are decorated. We're even bringing some light refreshments and snacks. Additionally, what we found out is that a lot of times when a neighbor's home goes on the market, they are curious about what home's values are like. So I will have a list of all the recent sales while we while we are there, and we will have to meet. What our team considers the best priced properties in the area, bank foreclosures, government owned properties, etc. And I wanted to ask you a question. Well, I don't feel like this has a flow. Okay, let me see it again.
Yeah, and Diego, it's because it's brand new. So you're gonna, I mean, just like anything. I mean, did you first learn to ride a bike without training wheels and not fall down? No, you stumbled until eventually you got it right. So that's just like a new script. Any new script is gonna be like, no, this is weird. This is the way you wrote it. Okay, keep reading it until it
Yeah,
comes out naturally.
correct. Yeah, let me just
Yeah.
rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Additionally, what we found out is that a lot of times when a neighbor's home goes on the market, they are curious about what home values are like. So I will have a list of all the recent sales while we are there, and we will have to meet, and we will have to meet. What is that?
This is kind of a this is kind of like an English phrase. So it's like, and we will have, to me, what our team considers the best priced properties in the area.
And we will have to meet what our team considers considers the best priced properties in the area, bank foreclosures, government-owned properties, etc. And I wanted to ask you a question. Or marketing, that's the question?
Yeah. And granted, this is very long-winded, but
Okay.
you're kind of doing the most of the, I mean, you really are doing most of the talking right now. And then once you fire the question away, they kind of understand the situation. So, yes, this is long-winded. They might ask you a couple of questions in the middle here, like especially, will you be able to attend the open house Sunday from 2 to 4? Oh, well, we're not in the market, or I don't know, I'll have to check with my family, or whatever they say. You can just be like, gotcha, well, I would love to have you there on Sunday. And now that we know that you're not in the market, just want to let you know we generally have the things people like at open houses. You can see the floor plan and how it's decorated. So once you guys know the script, Diego, you'll be able to kind of make it your own. So, um, yes, it's
Okay.
long-winded, but this is the question. We're getting to it.
Okay. So our marketing, because it generates usually around 10 times the amount of buyers than the average agent, and we only have one of Smithson's family homes to sell. So if we have extra buyers looking to move to the area, could you think of anybody else that might have a home that will be larger or smaller or in a different part of the local neighborhood so that we can help these people find a home as well? Do you, David?
Why? I'm not interested in buying a house.
Oh, that's great. I understand that. We're actually just inviting you for our open house so you can get to know the place. And in case that you know anybody that could be interested on selling the house, so we can help these other families that will be most likely interested on finding a house in the neighborhood after they look at this.
Um, no. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, any neighbor maybe that you know that has told you before that he wanted to sell or that he's thinking about selling. Anybody that you can give me a name?
To be honest, I don't know. I think, yeah, maybe. Maybe I've heard a couple of neighbors say that.
Great. Okay. So,
Well,
can you send me the information? Yes.
so you're gonna have an open house.
Yes, we're gonna have the open house so you can actually get to see how we work and the price, the value of the property right now on this market, right? in case that you're interested on also selling your property and taking advantage of the current market. Would you be visiting us then on Sunday?
Yeah, I guess.
That sounds great. So you will get to meet our team, and we will show you what we can help you also on the selling process if you decide to. And in the meantime, what were those names of the neighbors that you know that are talking about selling the property so we can give them a call right now?
No, like I said, I mean, I think I've heard a few mention it, but I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay, but still, you have their contact information so we can verify?
They're my next door neighbors, but I don't know if I would have to ask them first if you know I should give them their number or not.
Okay, I understand that, and I appreciate that you try to protect their information. So let's just say that I could call you maybe tomorrow to confirm if you were able to talk to them.
Okay.
Okay, great, David. So we will wait for you then on this Sunday for the open house, but I will call you tomorrow then to verify if you were able to reach your neighbors and find out if they're interested on selling the house. So we can talk before the open house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. Any questions that you may have?
No, that's it.
Okay. So I look forward to meeting you on Sunday. You have a great day.
Thank you.
Cool. So, to address, good job, though, Diego. That was awesome.
Thank you.
What was David? David, I just forgot your objection. The one that you just said, Diego. What did he just say? Where? Oh, he can't think of the people, right? What I usually do in that case, you don't want to be. It's kind of.
But I said it that I wouldn't feel comfortable giving him their number without their consent.
Yeah, and that's actually okay. And Diego, the way I would approach that, um, pretty much is, I certainly appreciate that. In fact, we don't, I don't want to put you in a bad spot. You're trying to protect your friend's information. I totally get it. If it makes you feel better, if you're looking out your front door, where is their property in relation to that? So, like, if you're looking out your front door at your street, are they two down to the right or two down to the left? And then what we'll do is when we have the open house, we'll just stop by and just say we've heard that someone was thinking about selling. We're not sure who it is. And then that way it doesn't make you feel awkward. Does that sound okay? And then that way we can at least get an address. If you can get me an address, I can reverse look up the information. See if we can get a phone number. Otherwise, we can just send them a card or have them come by, or before we do our open house, we just go door knock their home and just say, hey, one of the neighbors said that you were thinking about selling. Is that the case? We just had an open house, or we're having an open house. Wanted to invite you by and see how your home stacks up to the one that we have for sale, and could you think of anybody else who might be thinking about selling? And boom, we'll get them that way. So if I can't get their number, or you just, like, this is your first phone call, and it didn't sound like there was a lot of rapport built yet for you to start getting his contacts information, I'm very careful about that. So, like, Diego, just be not cautious, but aware of, like, you just met this person and they say yes. What you could do is say, okay, great, like, not address it right now. Just say,
that would give us a bad image, right?
Well, not necessarily. You just don't want to lose them, right? Because if you call me and you said that to me, I would be hesitant. I would be like, well, I don't really know who you are. Like, I've never met you before. So I'm not sure if I want to give you my friends or neighbors' information. Which is really the truth. And that's probably how most people feel. They just don't want to be rude on the phone. And also, you don't want them to give you dummy information. Sometimes they give you the wrong number. Oh, yeah, sure. So it's George, and his number is 678 666 66666. Like, whatever, he might be able to say. And you're like, okay, great. You call the number, and it's like, this number is disconnected. Whoops. And you never hear from him again. So In that case, what I usually do is one of two things. I basically acknowledge the fact that it's a little awkward. Awesome. I'm actually really happy that you can think of someone because, man, our buyers just need to buy houses. Um, I know you haven't met me before, and this may seem awkward. So, if you feel comfortable, would you mind providing me a phone number for one of those people? And I'd be happy to call them. And then that way we can kind of just connect real quick and see if that is the case. And if they're like, well, if they're hesitant, just be like, well, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. How about this? That way that they don't know that you sent them over and it's not a stranger. If you're looking out your front door, well, I guess first of all, these people in your neighborhood. Oh, yeah, they're my neighbor down the street. Okay, awesome. So if you're looking out your front door at the street, where are they in relation to your house? Oh, I think they're like a block away. So there's one, two, there's like 5 houses in between us on the left. So I think they're the sixth or seventh house on the left. Okay, awesome. And do you know their last name, or are they like this? What do you happen to know their first or last name? Yeah, I think it's like Jerry and Nancy something. Okay, Jerry and Nancy. Okay, perfect. I appreciate that, Mr. Seller. In fact, what we'll do probably is before the open house, go take a trip and just knock on their door and see if we can find them. That way, it's not uncomfortable for you, and they don't know that you gave us their information. Does that sound okay? Oh yeah, that's okay. Awesome. I'll just let them know that a neighbor heard that you were interested in selling. So I certainly appreciate that. Well, I again thank you for your time, and we'd love to see you at the open house two to four. And just go ahead and end that call. That's option one. Option two is to say, okay, certainly, I can definitely appreciate that. In fact, what I'd like to do is just shoot you an email with the open house information, and then that way, if you can't make it, I'd be happy to email you after um, with the neighborhood statistics. So, what's a good email? And if you think of your neighbors and you feel comfortable, you can email that back to me. That would be awesome. But I certainly understand you don't want to give your neighbors information out. So, um, what's a good email? And I'll send our contact information over, and then that way you can just give it to them if you feel comfortable. And kind of go the email route. Okay, cool. Would it be all right if I email you my contact information and then you can pass that on if you run into your neighbor again? Yeah, okay, great. Then that way you can have the open house address, and um, if you think of anybody, please just email us. We'd certainly appreciate it. Then you get their email, and boom, now I have a way of contacting them and following up with them after to be like, hey, thanks for coming, or I didn't see you at the open house. Love to show you the next one, and then we can kind of keep up with them. So see if you can get the email for sure. Otherwise, definitely if you can get a phone number, go ahead and grab that if they feel comfortable. But be very careful how you position yourself. You don't want to scare them away.
Okay.
Cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think we'll wrap up. It's 3:45. So I'm gonna get back to stepping over here. Go ahead and start powering through the rest of your calls. Tomorrow morning, we're going to go quickly over how to use Mojo, the triple line dialer, and then read this script so you're kind of starting to feel comfortable with it. We will begin calling the circle prospecting tomorrow.